I want to bring in our AccuWeather chief meteorologist, Jonathan Porter. You know, John, it was on Saturday that the decision was made on Saturday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 72 hours in advance to go with that high risk of severe weather, and we continue to keep that area here this morning.
We do. Good morning, Bernie. And the problem with this setup is we see multiple factors conspiring together to produce the risk for this tornado outbreak that we're concerned about. Our team saw that, and again, our goal is always to help keep you safer and give you the most advanced notice of these types of severe weather events. That's why we forecast a high risk so far in advance, well ahead of other sources. The government and other sources still are not assessing the risk this high.
Now, let's go over this, John. Water vapor loop. Listen, you look off the California coast and it's like, well, what are you talking about? But see, here's the key. You know, one of the main ingredients is this tropical surge. Already you can see it coming into Baja California, and we'll be tracking that into the plains tomorrow with that upper level feature that you already circled.
That's right. This is the troublemaker, and you can see all these colors in blue. This is plentiful moisture from the Pacific being drawn to the north. That will combine with moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and a very potent spin in the atmosphere, and this is going to head right up into the plains, and this is what spells trouble.
Look at the warmth, widespread warmth, 70s, 80s. In fact, that 80-degree line going all the way up into southern Minnesota and southern Wisconsin tomorrow, John. And I have the future dew points showing here. That green is showing you the 60-degree dew point. Take a look at that. I've stopped this right around 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock, I should say.
That's correct, and this is plentiful low-level moisture. Look at it surging all the way up into parts of Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri. This is a deep feed of very rich tropical moisture, and that is exactly the fuel that's needed for these severe thunderstorms.
And watch that dry air sweep eastward across Iowa tomorrow. Look
there
at that.
It comes.
Yep,
and right on that boundary between that dry air and that very moist air, that's where there's going to be a lot of instability pooling, and that's where we're going to get some very significant storms.
So, John, we have the moisture, we have the energy, we have the warmth. One more thing I want to show, and this is a tool that you and I have used for decades here. It's called the low-level jet. The winds are around 5,000 feet. You need energy in the form of wind. So we already have the dark purple, but boy, oh boy, if you get a low-level jet to strengthen, then you really are increasing the winds. Watch what happens here from eastern Iowa and the southern Wisconsin.
These lines, look at all these lines consolidating, and then the winds really ramp up at about 5,000 feet above in the atmosphere. That's as a storm system really deepens across Minnesota. This is a setup, a very concerning setup here for tornadoes.
John, I've been using this product for over 10 years now. When you see that, could we take that full for a real quick second? I want everybody to see this. That dark gray, when I see that, history tells me that you're going to be looking at dozens of tornadoes on the ground, and based off all the criteria we just went over, this is the map that we, and watch future radar, John. Talk about what you see here as we go through tomorrow afternoon.
Well, first thing, we're going to have that lifting warm front. That's the first boundary that's going to bring in all that warm and moist air. And then watch what's going to happen here as we activate this line of storms during the afternoon. Notice this is 3 p.m. Central, and all these are individual cells. That's a big concern. These are going to have a big tornado potential in the mid-afternoon.
And then they continue to move east as we head toward tomorrow evening. And then look out Chicago tomorrow evening. Right now, John, we don't think those thunderstorms will weaken. They will approach the city.
No, they're not likely to. They're going to start racing eastward. All these individual storms congeal into a line, damaging wind concerns. Some of these gusts may be above 90 miles per hour, and also the risk for embedded tornadoes. Very dangerous day.
And John, we only issue this map when we believe that the term dozens of tornadoes are possible. Once again, you get that unique set of conditions.
Right, here's those changing wind speeds with direction. The mid-level winds coming in from the south and west, south and east on those low-level winds means a tornado outbreak across multiple states.
You know, John, we were just looking at April 26th. That day, there was 100 tornadoes on the ground. Now, listen, we're not saying there's going to be 100, but there it looks like there's going to be dozens in this area.
Plenty of tornadoes and also big damaging wind, so make sure you're prepared.
AccuWeather Chief Meteorologist John Porter. John, thanks for helping me break this down.